Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to go over the Stage 14 study guide starting with Section 2, giving answers and just saying out loud my reasoning for it. I'm just going to go very quickly over each thing, so if you want a more in-depth explanation, I would suggest looking at the relevant notes or coming and asking me afterwards. Okay. So first thing in Section 2, which is all about prepositions, we're looking at sit space versus non-sit space prepositions. Object of sit space prepositions, according to your notes, are in the ablative case. If you don't know what an object of a preposition is, Google it. Non-sit space prepositions, the object of non-sit space prepositions in Latin, they're in the accusative case. So down here we have to figure out, okay, what are the sit space prepositions? In Latin, that is sine, and that means without. We have in, which can mean in, on, or into. We have de, which can mean about, down from, or concerning. The space, first S starts with sub, it means under. The P means pro, which can mean in front of, in favor of, or for. The A stands for ab, or a, which means away from. Let's see if I can get some real estate here. Alright, the C stands for cum, which means with. And then we have the E, which means ex or and that is out from, or just from. Okay? So down here, based on what we've done above, we know that the object of sit space prepositions are in the ablative case. Non-sit space preposition objects are in the accusative case. Here are the sit space prepositions right now. So when you're given this list of this group of prepositions, you can really just look up here. Are they part of sit space? No. Then you will put them in the accusative. Are they a part of the sit space? Then yes. Then you'll put them in the ablative. So we see in the ablative, we see cum, we see de, we see in, we see pro, we see ab, ex, sine, and sub. Oops. All right. Over in the accusative, we just have the rest. Prope, we got apud, we have per, we have ad. I think that's almost it, except we also have, just like we have over here, we have in and sub. Remember from our initial notes, those ones are weird. They can have either ablative or accusative objects. Not add, sub. Especially when you're talking about motion. So, like if you're saying he's walking into the forum, then you would have, the object would be in the accusative case, and in would be translated as into. Sub always stays below, but if you're using it to imply motion, then the object of it will be in the accusative case. Make sure to remember that. That's on the test. All right. It says underline the prepositions in the sentences. Draw a box around the object of the preposition. This is just identifying English prepositions. So, Will Smith made bacon on the sidewalk. All right. Well, on is our preposition, and sidewalk is its object. That's what we're saying. That's what it's on. I'm not going to draw a box. I'm going to highlight. That just makes more sense on the computer. Okay. After this infomercial, I will deal with the spatulas. All right. Here's our preposition. And infomercial. This infomercial is our object of the preposition. Whatever follows the preposition. It's hard to pick out the aliens among the usual Walmart shoppers. That one's difficult. It's not at the beginning. It's not at the end. There it is. We have among. That's what apud means. That's our preposition. And then our object of the preposition. This whole thing right here. The usual Walmart shoppers. So if we were translating that in Latin, all of that, since this is among, would be a non-sit space preposition. All of this would be in the accusative case in Latin. All right, so it says select the correct form of the verb to complete the sentence. Okay, well, we need to remember that if the preposition, like cum, is sit space, then we'll choose the ablative form of these. We have rex, regum, rege, and regibus. All right, well, we know we need to choose the ablative one, and this is a third declension noun, so we go Blah is E, M, A. A is the ablative singular ending, so we're going to go with that. But also, another possible ending could be regibus, because ibus is the ablative plural ending. So if you wanted to say Bregans wash the bowl with the king, you would say cum rege. If you want to say with the kings, you would say cum regibus. A rege would make more sense in this sentence. All right, we have Julius in blank, servos missit. Okay, in is our preposition here, and we have Julius sent the slaves into the crowd. Okay, well remember, like we said earlier, if we're showing motion into, then we want the object of this preposition in, which can be both sid space and non-sid space. We're going to want it to be in the accusative case. So we'll go with the answer B, turbam, since we're saying into the crowd as opposed to just in the crowd. If it was just in the crowd, then we would say turba or turbis. All right, we have quotidie ego per blank ambula. Every day I walk through the streets. So we have per, and we want to say streets, through the streets. Per. Is per a sid space preposition? Go and check. No, it is not. So we need it to be accusative. And then we look over here at the English. Okay, that has to be plural. All right, so we would go with the accusative plural of via, which is vias. And that is our answer. Okay, then we have Julius in blank stop. Julius is standing in the atrium. Okay, so notice how in this one it's just in the atrium, not into the atrium. There is no motion here. He's standing. So we're going to go with in one atrium. So we will say we need the, and this is sid space, so we'll use the ablative form of atrium. Second declension, us, e, o, o. O is the ablative singular ending in the second declension. And that's how you do the second part, all about prepositions. Okay, part 3. This takes a little bit, but it's very good practice to do. You are writing the declension ending and then declining the noun. This is really good to consult your adjective notes for help. So in this sentence, we want to say the happy slave girl in every way we can. We're using the words ankila and laitus. And so let's go ahead and just start with ankila, and we'll add on the adjectives afterwards. So we'll say ankila. That's how you do nominative singular slave girl. And actually, you know what? We'll just do this. We'll do this both ways. We'll do both the adjective and the noun at the same time. So we have ankila, and so we need as you can see, I've underlined the a here. That's the a ending is what goes with ankila. So we'll start with ankila laita. Right. Nominative plural. You think of first declension plural endings. We go ankilai. Be ankilai laitai. This is one of those occasions where the adjective and the noun will have the same ending because they both happen to be first declension. That's not always going to be the case, as you'll see in a minute. So we go dative singular will be ankilai, 2 or 4 the slave girl. We'll say 2 or 4 the happy slave girl. We'll go ankilai laitai. Ankilis laitis, the 2 or 4 the happy slave girls. I'm just going to kind of go through these. Once you figure out the ending of ankila, or what declension it is, and what endings go with it, then you're just kind of smooth sailing. And then we go with the ablative ankila, and I'm too lazy to go put in the macron, so I'm going to just put a star here to show you there's a little line over that A. That's very important. It's the only time I care about it is when it's right there. So that A should have the macron over it. Ankila laita. That's the ablative form. That's if it's the object of a sid space preposition. Right? And then ankilis laitis. Right. You're also to translate these as well. It's also good practice. Okay. So now we want to say the new king. All right. So we look. Oh, and I almost forgot up here. Our noun declension in this one, slave girl, ankila, ankila. We know it's first declension because of that am ending right there is the accusative. And we look over here. We see this is a first, second declension noun, or I'm sorry, a first, second declension adjective, and it's going to follow the first declension noun. So its endings will be first declension because it's feminine. That's something we're going to talk about next chapter. All right. All right, we want to say the new king. So we have Rex Regum and Novus Noah Novum. Rex Regum. And we look at this and we see, well, we know this means king. We see regum. We see that ends in em, and that is the accusative ending of the third declension. All right, so our noun declension is third. But then we see over here Novus Noah Novum. Okay, well, these are the endings for a first, second declension adjective. So 1-2 here, because that is a first, second declension adjective because of the us, ending. So now we have two words with totally separate declensions. So let's go nominative singular. It's always that first principal part of the verb. Go rex. And as you see over here, I've underlined the proper gender for you. We're going to go with the masculine gender, and this is going to follow the second declension. As you can notice, that us tells you it's going to be second declension. So go rex novus. And that means the new king. We want it then to be plural. We want to say the new kings. Okay. Well, this is where we do our stem thing. So we're not just going to say rexes. I'm sorry, rexes. No, it doesn't work that way. We need to look at the second principal part. We're going to take off this em ending, the accusative ending. We're left with reg, and then we go with the third declension nominative plural ending. Blah, x, e, and a blah. S, ebus, s, ebus, s. Okay, s is our nominative singular ending. And over here, we have our first, second declension adjective. We're going to be going with the second declension since it's masculine. Have that underlined. We go reges, and this will be second declension nominative plural is I. So reges novi. All right. Dative singular. All right. Rex third declension. So we go our reg. Because we take off that ending right here and go blah e. So we go regi is dative singular. To or for the king. To or for the new king would be regi novo. O is the dative singular ending in the second declension. Dative plural ending in the third declension is ebus, and dative plural ending in the second declension is is. All right. Moving on to accusative. Well, we're given the accusative right here, so we go with regum, accusative singular, and second declension accusative singular is Then we have reges for the third declension accusative plural, and novos, second declension accusative plural. Then we're left with our ablative. In our third declension, that the ablative singular is the letter E, so we go rege, and we want to say novo, rege novo. And it'd be a sit-based preposition plus the new king, with the new king cum rege novo. Ablative, we know it is regibus, and we know that our our ablative plural ending is the same as our dative plural ending in the second declension, and that is, so it'd be regibus novis. All right. I think I may run out of time before I finish the last one. So I'm going to end this here. I'm going to pick up the next video right where we leave off with the tired old man.